50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, good to be back in your lives, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 376 on this miserable Saturday morning here on the East Coast. Rainy as shit, but welcome in, everyone. I am your host, D-Rock, and joining me, as always, is our partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing today, kid?
I'm doing all right. You know, the weather ain't helping, but it's all right. You know, shout out to my boy Christian. I got that Dope Soul on. He just dropped off a drip. So go shop at Dope Soul. His Instagram is at Dope Soul. Show him some love, man. And Dill, to be honest, with March Madness being around, I'm just happy there's some excitement going on. Dill.
Yeah.
It's kind of dead right now. It's kind of dead. So shitty weather. At least we got some good basketball. Let's talk about it.
Is your bracket done? Or is your champion? Because we know our boy Joe, he took Kentucky to win the whole thing. They're done in the first day.
Dill, you know, we had a conversation on Saturday's show, and I was like, Wildcats are live. See, what happened was John Calipari might just be a fluke. You know, I could win a national championship with Anthony Davis. I could go to the Final Four with, you know, John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. Dill, last 5 seasons hasn't been looking good now.
No, it has not. I think it needs to go back. It needs to go back to the old Calipari, playing defense, getting rebounds. He likes the one and done guys. He gets a lot of guys to the league. I'll give him that.
Let's just start there, though. Let's just start there. You know, to me, in my humble opinion, you know, we understand he gets the one and done guys. He gets, like you said, he gets a lot of guys straight to the NBA, which is great. Most of the players that's going to that university or that program want to go reach to the next level, Dill, but we starting to see, especially these last 5 seasons. I'm not gonna say John Calipari is getting exposed, but these one and done players ain't gonna help you win. They're not gonna develop anything. We saw them what they lose to Oakland. The average age of the team is 23 years old. Those are all grown ass men, you know. So they got camaraderie, they got unity. They know how to win. Now, as a 19-year-old, I'm not saying you don't know how to win. All I'm just saying is you haven't really developed the full aspect of the game like a 22, 23-year-old already has, you know. So your main focus is just getting to NBA. You know, Kentucky has two top 5 players in the country. Can we two top
10. Two top 10. Yeah.
Right? They both have a chance to go top 5 in the draft. Probably not, but they have a shot.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you lose it to in the
Oakland.
first round? That's just it's unacceptable. But at the end of the day, what do you expect from a 19-year-old kid whose main priority is to join the NBA when these other guys are playing when they're already graduated? They're playing to see what they can do. They just want to compete. They want a chance to compete, while most of Calipari guys just want to play, get to the next level.
I will say it looked like, and I'm glad we started here. It looked like the Brights were a little too bright for them, especially the first half. They came out missing shots that, you know, they're really not accustomed to missing too. They came out tight, where Oakland, they were like what you were describing. Hey, we have nothing to lose. All the pressure is on Kentucky. And again, second time in 3 years or 4 years, they lose to a 15 seed or a 13 seed. They lost to St. Peter's 2 years ago. They lose to Oakland this year.
Didn't make it to the tournament at all. What, 3 years ago?
Yeah. So, and as much as, you know, he has a lifetime contract, his buyout is ridiculous.
$25 million.
As much as I said, and I said it on Twitter, that he needs to go, I don't think they will, just because who are you going to get to replace him? There's not many coaches in the country that are to Kentucky standards. And, you know, a lot of people want to harp on Coach Cal. He only has 1 national championship. You know, he only won Coach of the Year 3 times. He's only been to the Final Four 6 times. So it like, he has some accolades. Don't get me wrong. He's a great coach. He's a Hall of Famer, but it's just like,
for all the talent that he was able to coach, he should have more.
I think he's so into being swaggy Coach Cal with like being cool with Drake and getting these one and dones and going recruiting these guys and kind of letting them just ball instead of going back to how he won a national championship. I think he got away from that. So I think like I said, I think he needs to go back, go back to hard nose, play defense, kind of like a Tom Thibodeau. That's what Coach Cal reminded me of back in the day. But, he kind of got away from that. And Kentucky really hasn't looked the same. And if I'm being honest, Kentucky might be a football school. I mean, what they're doing with Coach Stoops in Lexington. I mean, Kentucky's a football school right now. They have more success in football than they do in basketball. And that's no knock on Coach Cal. That's what it is.
Last few years, though, you could definitely make that case. The one thing I can honestly say is, I'm not going to say change up the coaching style. I'm going to just say instead of trying to recruit, because I'm pretty sure in this upcoming class, he has 6 top 100 players coming in as freshmen. Mm-hmm. I say instead of trying to recruit, as many freshmen as he does, let's dial back down to 2 or 3 and try to get a few sophomores or juniors in the transfer portal. Maybe that will help you. Just because you need people with the mindset of let's go win something, not just let's go get to the NBA. So to me, that's the difference. You just got to get, the average age of the Kentucky team this year was what, like 20 years old.
Yeah, they're kids.
They're kids. You gotta mature a little bit. You want your average age group around like 22, around there, just a little older. Look at these past national championship, Baylor, UConn, FAU last year. Even they were a mature squad. So I just feel like especially in recent times, much more mature teams has been winning the titles. Even look at UCLA; they made back-to-back deep runs with more mature teams.
Yeah.
So to me, it's all perspective. I understand Kentucky is known for that firepower. They get the stadium sold out every season, is sold out. But what have that gotten you?
Yeah.
So
nothing.
I think seriously, what's the people that donate? What's that?
The boosters.
The boosters. They're gonna have a serious conversation. Maybe
100%.
And see, like, do we still want to just be popular enough to just get exited in the first or second round, or do we honestly want to compete and hang a banner down in the near future? That's what they got.
It's very unfortunate because guys like us and other people in the media, they're going to dictate the whole season off of this one game, which is very unfortunate because Kentucky did have a really good season.
Yeah. At the end of the day, nobody going to be mad at you for losing, but you losing to round 1?
And to the 14 seed?
Kyler Perry, Kentucky, you go to the Sweet 16, you lose to like a 6, you lose to Texas.
Okay.
We're okay with that, even though you should have beat them, but we'll live with that. But you can't just lose to Oakland from a suburban area in Detroit.
Yeah. Good call, too, because a lot of people think it's Oakland in the Bay Area, but yeah, it's Oakland in Michigan. So, yeah, you know what it is? It's what you said in the beginning. It's with the amount of talent you have on this team, there is no excuse why they should even be in the game, and that's no disrespect to Oakland. The kid,
you got to give him credit, but
Golick, he dropped 30. He dropped 10 threes on him. They could not guard this man. They could not guard him. I don't know. He was on one. I was like, whenever he shot, I was watching. I was like, oh, that's it. They could not guard him. So, yeah, shout out Oakland, man. They advanced. That was probably the biggest upset so far, especially on Thursday. Yeah. Shout out you. Tom Izzo does not lose in the first fucking round. I wanted to fade him. I thought it would be cool.
I try to tell y'all, people listen. I guarantee somebody he was like, you know what? Dylan's usually the one that takes the lead with college basketball. But you know what? Elvis is spitting today. He knows something. And God knows people, I was right by my
but a lot of the higher seeds took care of business. Creighton took care of Akron. Arizona took care of Long Beach. The 20.5 covered by a half. What a cover that was. Illinois took care of business. Oregon, what a fucking what a performance. That defense, that zone was just giving South Carolina fits in the first half. What a comeback by Dayton. They beat Nevada. Texas, Colorado State. What a poor performance. They were talking bad about Virginia Tech only putting up 14 points. I think you put up 11 points in the first half. You guys suck. That was bad. Gonzaga took care of business. Iowa State. Unfortunately, St. Peter's got blown out by Tennessee. North Carolina State, 6 in a row. They won 5 straight to win the ACC tournament, and then they just blew out Texas Tech. So 6 tournament wins in a row for North Carolina. Kansas takes care of business. Washington State takes care of business. And then on Friday, let me see. Besides Yale, shout out Yale. Yale is made for March, man. I mean, this is 2 years in a row they've won. Got out of the first round. They beat Auburn, a really good Auburn team. So the 13th seed took care of business. Colorado beat Florida 102-100. No defense was played. Texas A&M keeps rolling. Duke. Yeah, they won, but it was against Vermont, and it was. I feel like a lot of people hyped up Vermont, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if Duke plays the way they did yesterday, they're not going to win on Sunday. Alabama took care of business. Houston, they won. James Madison, my dog of the week. I mean, they more physical team. They wanted it more. They shot better, and Wisconsin they couldn't get anything to go inside the paint. Grand Canyon, big win against St. Mary's. Watch out for that Grand Canyon team. So, yeah, overall, it was a good first weekend, and now we're on to the round of 32, kid. But, yeah, overall, great weekend. Other news, though, let's talk about the Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter news, because I think this was, like, the story of the week besides March Madness. And you know, it's a very unique and strange story. So Tisha Thompson, she's a reporter for ESPN. She reported the firing of Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. She aimed questions about a wire transfer of $4.5 million from Ohtani's bank account to a bookmaking operation, which is now under federal investigations. The FBI is involved. So initially, Tisha Thompson, she spoke to the interpreter. I forget his name. It is, I have it here. It is Ipe Musuzara. Musuzara, I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, but Ipe, she talked to him on Tuesday, right? Opening day in Seoul was Wednesday. They were seen laughing in the dugout, and they knew a story was gonna come out. And then when she had a 90-minute conversation with the interpreter, Ipe, then after the game on Wednesday, Dodgers win. The Dodgers come out and say, hey, Ipe, a story about gambling is going to come out. Do you have anything to say? He talks to the team. He basically says, hey, listen, I'm sorry. This is all on me. It's nothing has to do with Shohei. This is all my problem. I apologize. And then whatever happened from that day to Thursday morning where they fired him, no one knows. No one knows. I don't know whatever happened between them smiling at the game on Wednesday when they knew about the story, but after the game, something happened where he got fired, and now Shohei and his team said, oh, actually, that's not the case. We're accusing Ipe of grand theft. I don't know how the hell this happened. I don't know if an interpreter had access to the richest athlete in America bank account. I don't know, kid, because like this isn't going to be a short story, by the way. Like this isn't like a week story, a month, or even a year. The FBI is fucking involved right now. And I don't know. Apparently, Shohei's representative said this isn't whatever he told Tisha Thompson on Wednesday or Tuesday is not accurate. According to our documents, according to what Shohei is telling us, this is not the case. We do not agree with that. And they've contacted law enforcement, obviously, and they're investigating it. And this massive threat. I just don't know how an interpreter, and I looked up his contract. He makes around $200,000. How does an interpreter who makes $200,000 have a gambling debt of $4.5 million? What bookie is he going to that's giving him this kind of credit? You let me know, kid, because I need that bookie. Giving him $4.5 million in credit. I mean, this is insane. Like, you can see, Elvis, you can see how people on the outside might think Ohtani is involved somehow, right?
Still, this is my.
I don't think he's involved, though. I will say, but
Still, I'm gonna give you my humble opinion.
Mhm.
My man Shohei Ohtani. I'm gonna just let the cat out the bag. My man Shohei Ohtani is one of us still. You know, he thought he could hire his boy as the interpreter. They can still do their thing on the side still. When this investigation concludes, my man Shohei Ohtani will be suspended for over 160 games still. I'm letting you know right now. My man Shohei Ohtani, I'm not gonna say he was betting on himself, betting on the Dodgers, betting on the Angels or anything like that. I don't think he did that. All I'm gonna say is my boy Shohei Ohtani likes to have a good time, and while he's having those good time, he likes to gamble a little bit, Dill. And like you said, there's no way the interpreter goes in the whole 4.5 million, making a $200,000 salary. You know, I don't care who you are, what you are, who you know. That's just
Mhm.
not gonna happen. Half a mil, maybe $1 million, maybe 4.5 million. No, that's too much still. So I hope it's not true. I hope I'm just blowing. I hope I'm just lying to myself. But I personally think Shohei Ohtani is involved in something bigger than just gambling. There's something going on behind the scenes. Who knows what it is? But I just hope it ain't nothing really serious because the kid's a talent. I want to see him play when he comes out here to the East Coast, to the Mets or the Yankees. I'm gonna try to get a ticket and watch him play, Dill. But I personally think Shohei Otani's involved somehow, some way. Is he a gambler? Does he just occasionally just plays like baccarat or something? Maybe he's that. But if he's out here betting MLB
There's it's
games,
sports. It's sports. And
it's
I will say, to interrupt, not to interrupt, but no baseball games were bet. It was accordingly international soccer and other sports. So it wasn't MLB, which I think is a big thing.
but my question, if it's not MLB related, what's the big deal? A man can
Well,
have
well, I
uh,
think I think it's because it's illegal to sports bet in California.
and he played with the okay, okay. If somehow, some way, all their bets were placed while they were at home, is that a crime?
I don't know.
Or if
Yeah.
he's honestly placing bets with a bookie through a phone call, his bookie's in whatever, he's in Cali, he's making bets. He's
Yeah.
gonna get suspended though.
I will say the reason I don't think it is because people around the clubhouse and people around Shohei, they apparently Shohei doesn't even know how other sports work or like what's
Cat,
even going on. So
cat.
I think he's playing like a blind eye to it. And I think you made the I think the $1 million question is whether or not Shohei actually had any involvement in this gambling on baseball. I think that's the $1 million question. MLB announced on Friday that the Department of Investigations began their formal process into the matter involving Ipe and Shohei. My understanding from reading the article, unless something dramatic happens, Shohei's going to remain on the Dodgers, remain on the active roster, and he's going to play until the MLB investigation unfolds. Administration leave only applies to the domestic violence policy. So there are other teller pursuits, but the fact that Otani himself hasn't been accused of gambling and there's no evidence any party gambled on baseball probably helps him, I feel like. So it has nothing to do with him. It's all his interpreter. The only thing involving him is the wire transfer of 4.5 million.
That's a lot.
I
That's a
I know,
lot.
I know. And that's the thing. He just signed the richest contract in American sports, not even just baseball, in anything. $700 million he just signed for. I think that is another key factor. Let me give you a timeline. So 3 p.m. on our time, 3 p.m. on Monday this week, which is 4 a.m. Tuesday in Seoul, South Korea. ESPN contacted Otani's agent to ask him about information that they found, including Otani's name appeared on 2 wire transfers totaling $1 million. The transfers had been sent in September and October to the Southern California bookmaker Matthew Bauer. That was 3 p.m. Then 5:30 p.m., about 2 hours after, a crisis communications for Otani, who just been hired, responds to ESPN over the next several hours. ESPN reporter talked to various times. The spokesperson saying he is getting up to speed on the information because Ohtani really didn't know what was going on Monday. Later that night, the spokesperson for the first time says that Ohtani paid the debts on behalf of Ipe. That was the lie. Ipe said, hey, I'm in debt. Obviously, you're one of the richest people in the world. You think you could help me out? I think that's kind of how he got Ohtani to kind of help him. Because Ohtani seems like a really fucking nice guy.
Yeah.
He says that Bello, which I think is the spokesperson, the agent went to Ipe, who finally came clean to him and had said the truth, and that Ohtani told the reporter he had covered Ipe's debts in 500,000 increments. It is not, which is the $1 million wire transfer. It's not clear whether the spokesperson is saying Ohtani communicated through Ipe, but the spokesperson quotes Ohtani as saying, yeah, I sent several large payments. That's the maximum amount I could send, which is 500,000. Then on Tuesday, which is Wednesday morning, Ohtani spokesperson confirms to ESPN that the gambling debt amounted not to just a 1 million, 4.5 million, which ESPN kind of learned.
Nuts.
Then 10:30 p.m. Tuesday, which is 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, Ipe speaks with Trisha Thompson. That's how she gets involved. He reports to her, and they talk on the phone for 90 minutes. The interviewer arranged and basically saying, you know, there's so many quotes that I could read, but I want to read one of them. Okay, yes, here it is. So after he had been accused of theft and embezzlement, he says he has been told not to comment, but he declines to say by whom. Quote, obviously, this is all my fault. This is Ipe speaking. Everything I've done, he says, I'm ready to face all consequences. She says, Trisha Thompson, when did Ohtani become aware of this situation? Quote, Ipe says, they told me I can't answer anything. Ohtani's representatives have told you that? No. Are they taking any form of payment for you to tell me these things? No. Have you made any kind of agreement to say these things? No. You're doing this out of your own free will? Yes. Did you bet on baseball? No. Did you lie to Shohei Ohtani? Yes. I don't know, kid. This is crazy. I don't think he was involved. I think he was a fool. I think Ohtani. I think he got roped in to a degenerate. He was a pawn. Thank you. That's a better word. He was a pawn in a degenerate's gambling addiction. I feel bad. I honestly do think, because I think when it all comes about, I think
he's gonna get in trouble for it. Some way, somehow, it's gonna fall on Ohtani. Somehow,
really,
right now, it's gonna come back to him.
How can it, if he only wired? Oh, well, it's not just $1 million; it's the 4.5. How? That's my $1 million question. He didn't bet on baseball, right? Allegedly, he didn't bet on baseball. How does he get access to 4.5 million?
Exactly, Dale. That's what makes him involved. If you were just like, sending him like 50 grand, okay, but to send him $4.5 million, that seems involved in.
Well, the only thing Ohtani said or claims he knows is that he sent them his 500,000, which is the $1 million. So where is the other 3.5 million coming from? That's my question to you. Does he have access to this guy's bank account? If so, Ohtani's an idiot.
No, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna come out eventually. Ohtani is involved. It's $4.5 million. If this was just 500,000, even just $1 million, deal, okay. The interpreter could possibly, finesse that somehow, with credit, be like, hey, I'm Ohtani's interpreter. I'll get the money, this and that. But $4.5 million, and it's transferred from account to account. That's it. You're caught red-handed, though. The only thing you could possibly do is justify why you sent that $4.5 million. If you can't justify if it's not a Bugatti Veyron sitting in that dude's garage, or he doesn't have around $4 million in some type of assets, he's gone. He's done, Bill. You got to show, unless the guy has $4 million in his bank account, or you have something
which
that's
is
worth.
not. Yeah, which I don't think he does because he only makes $200,000 a year.
That's what I'm saying, Dale. So there's no reason, there's no other way to justify him sending that money unless
Yeah.
he brought something. He had to like acquire something that's worth value. If not, he paid it off.
I'm going to ask
And
you a
if
question. Is there any way, do you think, besides the $1 million that he knows he sent, is there any way you think he's either playing dumb or that he truly didn't know that the guy took $3.5 million from him?
he's playing dumb.
You think? There's no way that he probably would have not known.
How can he get access to those accounts?
Someone told me one day, back in the day, if there's a will, there's a way.
I understand, Dill, but
He's close to him.
no, I understand that, Dill, but the money's not adding up.
I know.
You said you sent. Why are you giving him $1 million in the first place?
Covering
should be-
gambling debts. He's a
Who's
good
gambling?
friend.
Who's gambling debts?
Ipe,
You-
the interpreter,
Dill,
allegedly.
you're not about to cover $1 million if you didn't have some type of input in that. Even if it was your bet, he just placed it. It was your opinion. He's involved somehow. This is just not a cover up.
And I also think the bookie, whatever his name was, Matthew something in California, I also think he gave him all this line of credit because he was like, and maybe it does have to do with baseball because he goes, hey, this guy's in the clubhouse every fucking day. Maybe he knows something. Maybe that's why he's betting all this fucking money on whatever
but
he's
if he
betting
knew
on.
something, he will be winning.
Word.
That's
He's
thing.
the worst
He
gambler.
He lost $4.5 million. So he probably won a couple of times. So this might be at $5-6 million.
Yeah. I think the end result.
$4.5 million, people.
I want to know the total amount. Yeah,
he's in the hole. He lost $4.5 million. That's
so
not
is
how much he
Ipe the
gambled.
worst gambler ever?
Nah.
I mean, to be down 4.5 million is crazy.
Dill, I'm not gonna call him the worst gambler ever because it's a small chance. Otani's the worst gambler all time.
I'm not about to sit here and let you
Dill, I need
just
to see the
put
proof.
dirt on. We will,
I need
and
to
that's
see
what
the
I'm
proof.
saying.
I'm not saying he is. All I'm saying
You
is
said there's a possibility.
I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a 20% chance. I'm gonna say
okay. That's fair.
I'm gonna say 75% interpreter, 20% Otani, 5% chance that somebody's just fucking shit up and just,
Yeah, I think 20% is fair. I don't know. Otani just doesn't seem like the guy to be gambling like that. 4.5 million is crazy. Now, Floyd Mayweather has come out and said, listen, if I bet on a game, it's $1 million. Okay, you make 10 million a fight or whatever it is. I could understand Floyd, but 4.5 is crazy, cuz.
Trust me, because I know, and that's why I still don't believe. I still don't understand how you don't see it my way a little bit. At least
because I think personally, and this is just my opinion, I think the guy robbed Otani. I think he got his bank accounts.
I agree with that. Still, I believe that as well, but not $4.5 million.
That's my thing. Like, how do you just not see 4.5 million leave your bank account?
And remember, that's another thing, though. It's not like he's making like $70-80 million a year. His salary is like 10 a year, so you'll see it. Yeah, his salary is reduced. Remember, he gets everything on the back end, like in 20 years from now. Yeah, he has a very low base salary.
He's a good guy.
I guarantee there ain't like $80 million in his checkings. I guarantee it. Maybe like 20, something like that. But still, like, it's a lot of money, though. If it's not a lot. 500,000 we talk about. It's 4.5.
And like I said, I think it's important to know, like, this story is not going to go away this week or this month, or it could be a year. It could be in the summer of next year. Like, we really don't know. The FBI is involved. And then after the FBI does their federal investigation, the MLB is going to do their investigation. So the story will continue to unfold and we'll continue to keep you in the loop. But I just thought that's fucking insane. And, baseball has a bad reputation about gambling. Pete Rose going back to the Blackhawks in Chicago all those years. But Pete Rose was gambling on himself. Legend. But allegedly. Yeah, and they still won't let him into the Hall of Fame. But that's another story. Let's go to the NFL. Okay, we had a trade going down last night. We talked about it about a few weeks ago. We were saying, they tagged him, but they're still trying to work out a deal. There are other suitors involved. Allegedly, your Patriots were involved, the Colts were involved, but the Tennessee Titans swoop in and they trade for their franchise corner now, L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs. Chiefs are expected to receive a 2025 third-round pick and an additional to 2024 seventh-round pick flop. Sneed will sign a new contract. I think that was what was holding up the trade. They were figuring out numbers throughout the whole week. It's obviously pending physical, but he's on the move down south. They have the framework in an agreement for days, like I said. So it's going to be formalized after Sneed passes a physical on Monday. But allegedly, apparently to Adam Schefter, it's going to make him one of the highest paid corners in NFL history. The Titans already signed Uzawa during free agency, and now they got a franchise corner in L'Jarius Sneed. So they got their two corners, and in a division where I think they need a good secondary, because you got Trevor Lawrence, you got C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson's coming back healthy. They need a good secondary.
Yeah, Dale. For the Tennessee Titans, I feel like they just hit a home run. To basically get them for a 5th-round pick, because you're just swapping 7th. So it's not like you're letting up a 7. Who cares around a 7th-round pick anyway? The fact that you're able to get this done deal and get one of the best corners in all of football, I understand you got to give them that big time deal, but it's worth it. We know the struggles Tennessee had. Like you said, you got Trevor Lawrence, you got CJ, Anthony Richardson coming back from injury. You're going to need to show up that secondary if you want a chance to compete, Dale. And to be honest, I wouldn't say the Titans are favored tonight, but I'll definitely give them a shot to compete in the division this upcoming season. I like the addition of Calvin Ridley, the offense with Will Levis. Hopefully that could develop into something. We already got D-Hop. Now we really know Tennessee has a pretty good, I'm going to say solid defense. Not pretty good, solid defense. And now they're ensuring that side of the ball. They have a top 10 pick, Dill. I think Tennessee could possibly make some noise. If Will Levis takes that next step, I'm not saying he's going to be him, people. All I'm saying, if he takes that Daniel Jones step to the second year, that Jalen Hurts stepped on his second year, the Titans are live to make some noise. So I love the addition, and basically for just 5th-round pick, 3rd-round pick, steal.
Third, yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it was a steal. Yeah, you got to give him the money, but like you said, he deserved it. He was a top 5 corner last year. He made that game-winning play on Zay Flowers in the AFC Championship. The guy is a stud. Yeah, you're gonna have to give him the bag, but it is what it is. And you mentioned the division, the AFC South. They're 11-1 to win the AFC South. They have the worst odds. The Texans plus 135, Jacksonville plus 210, Colts plus 280. I think they're right there. And like you said, they have a top 10 pick. They're sitting at number 7. I think they go get the offensive tackle and protect Will Levis from Notre Dame, Joe Alt. He's a stud.
Tony Pollard. They got Spears. I'm telling you, man, Titans gonna be better. I think it's definitely worth a sprinkle as of right now.
11-1.
I just don't see it. You know why? Like don't get me wrong. Texans are gonna be. They have the potential to be contenders. Jacksonville, I gotta see what's going on. I don't like what happened, especially down the stretch of last season. And with Anthony Richardson with the Colts, we'll just gotta see if he's gonna stay healthy or not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Tennessee a shot, dude. I'm gonna be honest.
And they got Calvin Ridley.
I'm telling you, bro. They got D-Hop. They got Ridley. They got Tony Pollard. Defensively, they're gonna have a top 15 defense.
Yeah, I like the move. I really do. And there's a lot they could do at number 7. They need an offensive tackle. They need an offensive tackle. So they could either go with the guy from Penn State. Can't pronounce his name, but he's a stud. Oregon State. There's a lot of good offensive linemen, but the best one
pass rusher. Though you got to get after the quarterback in the division. They all got legs too. Trevor Lawrence could run. C.J. Stroud could run. We know Anthony Richardson could run.
Yeah. There's a good pass rusher on the edge. He's an edge rush. He plays a little DN, outside linebacker from Bama. He's projected a top 10 pick. Dallas Turner.
Hey, look at Dallas Turner. If anything, move back a little bit, especially if you're going defense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of things they could do, and I was just looking at it, kid. We are just 33 days away from the NFL draft. I cannot fucking
Da-da-da,
wait.
da-da-da.
And we got some NBA news as well. Russell Westbrook is expected to return to the lineup as soon as Monday versus the Pacers. Adrian Wojnarowski said he's one of the top 6 men in the league when moving to the bench. He had surgery to repair a fracture in his left hand about 3 weeks ago. Before the injury, he was averaging 11 points, 5 boards, 4 assists in about 23 minutes per game. I think this return could really help, because the Clippers have been kind of struggling recently. After I gave them their flowers, they kind of been struggling a little bit. I think this is a good time to get Russ back.
Yeah, this is a great time just because we're what 3 weeks from the end of the season.
Yeah.
Russ gonna give you that, just that firepower off the bench. Especially with the second unit. He's gonna run up and down the court. He might turn the ball over a few times, but we know he's gonna do it all. Like you said, he's gonna give you around 10 to 15. 5 to 6 rebounds. Maybe a little more rebounds than that, and always gonna facilitate the ball. I'll start it a little bit, but he's gonna always make plays. That especially down the stretch. So I like Russ. I think with Russ, the Clippers, hate to say it, but they are contenders. When Russ is coming off the bench, Kawhi is healthy, Paul George is healthy, James Harden not trying to defend his own teammates, they're gonna be pretty good, though. So I think with Russ, they've been missing him, and they're gonna love when he's back on the floor. They'll just because that second unit is running at a faster and much harder
Yeah.
pace with Russ.
Thankfully, they are 4 games out of the 3 seed, but New Orleans right on their tail, about a game out. Clippers have won 2 in a row. They are sitting at the number 4 seed, so they would play the Pelicans if everything ended today. But I don't know if there's a chance to get the 3 seed. Like I said, I think they're going to have a tough time catching those top 3 teams, OKC, Denver, and Minnesota. So we'll see. Hopefully they could stay at number 4. But yeah, getting Russ back definitely helps, especially that second group. Give them a little boost off the bench. But yeah, kid, let's get into these picks. Before we do that, let me tell you guys a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry on this rainy Saturday afternoon, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, okay, let's get into these plays. We got an 8-game NBA slate today, and like I was talking to you before we went on, and not the prettiest slate, if I do say so myself. I know you and I were rivals at 1 o'clock, so we really can't talk around that time. But other than that, you got the Raptors, Wizards, Boston Bulls, Magic Kings. That should be an interesting game in Orlando. But let's start with that first game. It is the New York Knicks taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Knicks at home, laying 7.5. Over under is at 204.5. I was telling you, I just can't back the Nets right now. They've lost 5 in a row. Knicks, they look good right now. I know they just lost to a really good Denver team, but outside of that, they were playing really good. Coming back home, first game off the road trip, I think they'll lay it at them on home. So I'll lay the 7.5 with the Knicks as my first play. Any opinion? I know the Brooklyn Nets are your team, but 5 in a row now, kid. You've lost.
Yeah, Dale. I'm not gonna take it officially, but I would advise the people listening to lay the 7.5 with the Knicks. At the end of the Knicks haven't been playing well. The Knicks have been playing better as of late, especially since OG has been back. So the Nets just been a dumpster fire. Dale, last episode or 2 episodes ago, he was kind of busting my balls about the Nets getting into the play-in, and Dale, as you can see now, I think that dream is long gone. So I'm kind of happy about it. So I only to see the misery in a play-in game. I went to the play-in game a
Yeah.
couple years ago against the Cavs. Saw a young Darius Garland and Mobley's rookie year. I went saw
Mhm.
them. Dill, I'll lean the -7.5. It's a little high, but the Knicks should win this game by double digits.
All right, let's go to the next game. Like I said, very interesting game here down in Orlando. The Magic are hosting the Sacramento Kings. Magic laying 2.5 at home, -135 on the money line, +2.5 for the Kings, +114 on the money line. Over under is at 217.5. Now, very interesting. The money went the other way, so they opened up around a 4-point favorite. It's come down. Money's come in on the Kings, which I don't know if I agree with, if I'm being honest. The Kings, they're a good team, but they just lost. They're not the best on the road, and they're better at home. And the Magic right now, 5 in a row. They've won. They're 8-2 in their last 10, and at home, they're 25-9. I gotta lay it here. The -2.5. I thought I was getting a good number at 4. I really thought they could win at 2.5. I know I'm going the other way. The market's going the other way, but I like the Magic here. I'm gonna lay the 2.5. Kid, do you have anything on this game?
Yeah, Dill. I do like the Magic in this scenario. If Sacramento were at home, I would have took the Kings on straight up on the money line, Dill. But at home, like you said, Magic's been rolling. I gotta stay away. I ended up staying away from this game, but I have to lean with the Magic at home.
All right. Nothing in the Charlotte Hornets and Atlanta Hawks game. Hawks big favorite, -8 at home. Suns and Spurs, nothing here. Do you have anything
Yeah,
in this game?
I lean the +10 again with,
Mm.
with the Spurs at home. At the end of the day, we gotta respect the Suns with the firepower they have. But in my opinion, they're just not a very good team. They're not one of these elite teams. They're at the end of the day, they're just the eighth seed in the playoff. So they're not great. They're good, not great. So I like San Antonio +10. If you want to tease them up, I think to +16. I think that's great value there. If you like somebody else, say if you think the Knicks will win today by a couple points, maybe not lay the 7.5. Tease them with the Knicks, or you want to tease, Orlando or something like that. But I'm telling you right
Mhm.
now, I like San Antonio +10. If you could tease them up to +16, even better.
I actually got a player prop. Give me a Jusuf Nurkic over 10.5 rebounds. We talk about Wemby and his matchup here, but he's kind of struggled with a few things his rookie season. And one of those weaknesses has been against bigger and more physical centers on the glass. This season, he surrendered massive games on the glass to Rudy Gobert. Gobert had 17 and 20 rebounds against him. Joel Embiid went healthy. He had 18. Alex Segan of the Rockets, he had 16. Jared Allen,
Right.
16 and 16 both times. Vucevic had 16. Julius Randle had 16. And Valanciunas had 15. So over his last 10 games, Nurkic is averaging 14.8 boards. He's gone over this number 7 of his last 10 games. I think he's going to be a little more physical than Wemby. Give me over 10.5 rebounds. It's a little chalky at -130, but I do like that play there. Let's go to Chicago. Best team in the league, Boston Celtics laying 7 on the road. No money line. It's that big. Over unders at 221.5. You got to play here, kid.
Yeah, Dale. I ended up catching the 6.5. By all means, it's still at if you get 7, I'll lay the 7 as well. I laid the 7 earlier, so I double
Mm-hmm.
dipped. Dale, like you said, Boston is just one of the best, obviously the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, they are.
Chicago, we saw them, get a little scrappy the other night with Houston, but Chicago's been a little pesky as of late. You know, but I just give the edge to Boston. I think the number's too short. Come on now, I think Boston wins this game by 10 points easily.
I got a player prop here. Give me Nikola Vucevic over 18.5 points. He's had success against the Celtics, especially against the matchups with Al Horford and Porzingis. And, let's just look at it. Last few years, he scored extremely well against Porzingis. Since 2020, he's exceeded his points line of 18.5, 7 of 8 times, with one of them landing on 18. So missing it by the hook. He scored 25 plus in 4 of those 8 games as well. So Porzingis, he's kind of banged up. He's dealing with like a hamstring injury, but he still should be good to go in the second half of a back-to-back. But I just don't like this matchup again with Porzingis. I think he could actually expose Porzingis a little bit. And Vucevic, he's exceeded this line of 18.5 in 20 of his last 30 games. I love that number. I'm going to take it. It's a little not chalky. It's at minus 110. So Nikola Vucevic over 18.5 points for the Chicago Bulls. Let's go to Toronto and Washington. Washington laying 6 at home, minus 230 on the money line, plus 190 on the return for the Raptors. Over unders at 231. What do you got here, kid?
Still, I understand Scotty Barnes ain't playing, but still, +6 is still too high of a number. Give me Toronto Raptors +6 on the road against arguably one of the worst teams in the NBA. I understand Kyle Kuzma's been playing well and whatnot, but still, Toronto +6 on the road. I'm gonna take it in my back pocket all day. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna take the +6 with Toronto, Dill.
All right. Let's go to the next game. Houston Rockets hosting the Utah Jazz, laying another double-digit spread. Rockets laying 11. Over under is at 228.5. What do you got for this one?
Yeah, Dill. I love Houston. Houston, I think they won 9 out of the last 10. Won like 4 or 5 straight games. Either Udoka got those kids playing at a high level, making a run for that 10th seed, Dill. They've been playing hot. Got to give them credit, Dill. I understand. I said earlier, tease the Spurs, but I ended up teasing the Houston down from minus 11 to minus 5 at home versus the Jazz. I expect them to cover the number 5 mark easily. To lay 11, I wouldn't advise nobody to lay 11. Basically, you got to win by 12. I'm not going to advise people to lay 12 points with Houston at home, but the way they've been playing, I can see why the number is so high.
7 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
They're 24-11 at home, and they're just 2 games behind the Warriors of the playoffs.
And Warriors are slipping. Tough loss yesterday. Lakers won. So right now,
I think
the Golden State Warriors are 1.5 games back of the 9th seed. It's gonna be interesting. Still 3 weeks left.
Yeah, Rockets. They're really good at home, but Dylan Brooks got to stop.
We got to give Udoka his flowers too, just because. Let's just wait to the end of the season, but let's not forget what he's been through these past 2 years, people, and the fact that he got this Houston team on the verge of getting into the play-in,
or what he put himself through. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the last game.
The Celtics put him through that. He snitched on himself, but that's not the here or there.
Denver Nuggets laying 12.5 on the road against the Portland Trailblazers. Over under is at 212. Last leg of the teaser, kid.
Last leg of the teaser, Dill. This is another one, Dill. To lay 12.5 points, basically 13 points on the road. I'm not gonna advise people to do that, but it's a defender chance, people. Of course, they're gonna be that high because Portland Trailblazers. So that's my 2-way 6-point teaser, people. Houston down to minus 5.5, and then Denver to minus 6.5. If you want to add the Spurs to it, by all means, get your money, people. But I'm telling you right now, I like this teaser a lot. Houston down to 5, and Denver to minus 6.5. They take care of business on the road.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so bad, bro. The Portland Trail, they've lost 5 in a row. They're 8-25 on the road.
Chauncey Billups, though. Chauncey Billups, it's just a shame what he's going through, but I got faith in him. I think he's a solid coach.
All right, let's go to the madness, kid. We talked about some of the upsets yesterday and on Thursday. We're into the second round, the round of 32. We'll start with the Saturday game slate. First game on the board is Arizona Wildcats laying 9 right now. Some 9.5 I see against Dayton. Over-unders at 149.5. Any play for you in this one, kid?
Dill. I understand the Wildcat Nations might hate me, Dill, but give me Dayton plus 9.5. 9.5 is a tall number, Arizona, they're good, but this ain't the same Wildcat team from a couple years ago, Dill. I give Dayton a shot. I don't know if they're live dogs in this scenario, Dill, but to cover the 9.5, Dill, I like it. Give me the plus 9.5 and minus 112.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I got the 9.5 minus 108. I like Arizona, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they should be 9.5 point favorites. You've seen how close some of these games have been in the tournament, and I think 9.5 is a few possessions. I think Dayton could keep it within the number. I was thinking the number would open up around 6, maybe 7. I could see that. 9.5.
I'll win by 10. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll take the 9.5 with Dayton. Let's go to the next game. Gonzaga and Kansas. Great game. Gonzaga laying 4. Kansas plus 4. Over unders at 152. As much as I wanted to lay it with Gonzaga, I think Kansas may be keeping it close. +4. That's a lean. Didn't go to nothing official. Didn't get to the window, but I do lean Kansas here. Any opinion on this game?
Dill, this is gonna be
Good
a great
game.
matchup. Yeah, great matchup. Dill, I'm kind of with you. Dill, I gotta lean the +4, and Dill, surprisingly, this is gonna come out my mouth. Give me the under 152.5. Dill, I think this is gonna be a nice nip and tuck game. I'm gonna say final score 74-71. Kansas. Give me the under.
I like it. I think it could go under too. I got buried on an under last night. It flew over. I was dead at half. Shout out all the people watching. Whatever you guys like, put it in the comments. Let us know what you like.
Who are you betting on today in March or tomorrow?
Or tomorrow, exactly. Let's go to your boy Tom Izzo in Michigan State. They are taking on North Carolina and the Tar Heels. My winner.
Tar Heels.
My winner for the 2024 NCAA tournament. Let's see if they could beat Tom Izzo right now. North Carolina laying 4 over-unders at 141.5. I got it last night. I laid the 3.5. It's moved a little in my favor, so the market is going in my way, which you love to see. But I'm going to lay with the Tar Heels. I'm going to die on the hill. They're my winner for this year for the 2024 national champion. I just think they're so good. Amara Baycott, I just think down low, they're going to give Michigan State some problems. I know it's Tom Izzo, and I know they're going to shoot the lights out of the ball, but I think North Carolina is just a better team. They're the more physical team. Give me the Tar Heels. I'll lay the points.
Dale, I'm gonna give you a side story for this. Dale, not too many people know, but I'm a secretly diehard North Carolina fan. My favorite players.
No.
Dale, my favorite players as a kid, Dale, Tyler Hansbrough, Ty Lawson.
Wow.
I don't know why. I love that combo. I even used to play with Ty Lawson when he was coming off the bench with the Nuggets. And
what's Ty Lawson doing now?
It don't matter. He was great. He was great for his time, Dale. And then Tyler Hansbrough in Indiana. You understand? This is what I grew up watching, Dale. I loved it. With that being said, I gotta lay the 4 with UNC, Dale.
Mm-hmm.
It's still my childhood team. I like Coach Izzo, Dale, but what I said, he's gonna get the round out of the first round. Round 2, I don't know. To me, it's a bad matchup. I gotta take UNC. Anybody else, I would have took the 4. Against UNC, I can't.
Oh my God!
You like Ty Lawson and Tyler Hansbrough. When the last time you heard those names?
No, I don't, because low key I'm a Duke fan. So those battles between Tyler Hansbrough,
those were their games.
Those were where they were bloody with JJ Redick. Oh my God! Honestly, while you were talking, I was looking up what Ty Lawson was doing. Not funny, but last year he got arrested in Spain after 2 altercations. Off the court concerns were among the reasons Ty Lawson's NBA career ended when he did after 8 seasons. He took the ability to drive the lane and
shout out my boy Ty Lawson, man. Stop putting dirt on my man. Free my boy Ty Lawson from the fucking Spaniard jail cell, boy.
Police reports that Ty Lawson injured a customer in an Italian restaurant by throwing glass at him. The victim that requires stitches.
Allegedly.
Ty Lawson.
It was the other guy. Just because he's the tallest in the room doesn't make him the suspect.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Let's go. They treated my brother back out there in Spain. It's a damn shame.
Let's go to Iowa State taking on Washington State. The Cyclones laying 6.5 right now, over under a small 129. Any opinion on this game, kid?
You gotta lean with the Cyclones. Do I like Washington? Did they have a good season? Yes, but come on now, it's Iowa State's territory. They're number 2 for a reason, Dill. I have no bet in this one, Dill, but to lay 6.5, I don't know, Dill. To me, I feel like all these games, especially second round and on, they're gonna be nip and tuck games. These are all top 50 schools-ish, so
I feel like the lines are so sharp. I think 6.5 is perfect. I think 129 is.
I'm not gonna lay the 6.5. I think I'll take the 6.5.
Yeah, but I do think Iowa State will win the game in advance. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to the next one. Oakland. We were talking about them for the first 10 minutes of the show. Oakland in the round of 32, taking on a team that just can't lose right now. North Carolina State, winners of 6 in a row, and they're laying 6 right now. Over under is at 147.
Still, I tell you right now, the line is moving in my favor. I caught 6.5 this morning. Is at 6. You can't get that 6.5 no more. Still, Louisville fans, shout out Louisville fans. They crashed the Oakland website last night. You know they so bitter over Kentucky. Still, they brought over $8,000 worth of merch from
Oh my
Oakland.
God.
Sold out. Crashed the website. Still, I'm gonna take the 6.5 plus. I even like the +6 that we saw this Oakland team compete at a better level than the number 3 Kentucky team. I understand they're a young team, but this Oakland team, Dale, the guy said it himself, he could compete with those guys. I give Oakland a shot, +6.5, and I think they're live dogs. Hopefully they go dancing, Sweet 16, baby.
We're going the other way. Give me the Wolf Pack. I'll lay the 6. This is where it all comes crashing
Dale,
to a
remember
burn.
last time we did this, what happened?
Yeah, but this is a different story. This team can't lose right now, the Wolfpack. They're playing great basketball. They're making shots. They're getting back on defense. They're cleaning up the board. If they could stop my boy Jake from making all those threes, I think they're going to be good. And they got to contain him. If they don't contain him, it could get close. But I think they do. Give me the Wolfpack. I'll lay the 6. Let's go to the next game. Texas and Tennessee. Tennessee laying 6.5 against the Longhorns. Over unders at 146. Kid, what do you got here?
Yeah, this
This is another game where I feel like the line is perfect.
This is another one. I'd rather take the points than lay the points.
Yeah.
You know, Texas, they're pesky, Dale. If you got to take the +6.5 with Texas. Don't get me wrong, Tennessee is a better squad, but are Texas live in this scenario? You better believe so. So I like the +6.5 more than I lay the 6.5.
All right, let's go to the next game. Illinois taking on Duquesne. Duquesne won their first NCAA game in about like 50 years the other day. So shout out them. Made it to the round of 32. Now they get a big test in Illinois. Lane 10.5 Illinois. Over under is at 147, kid. I think the total is spot on. It's another one where, like, I do think Illinois will win, but 10.5 is crazy in a tournament game. Yeah, they could blow them out, but I thought the number would be around 7.5. I would have laid it. 10.5. It's another incidence where gun to my head, I take the points.
Yeah, I have no opinion on this one. You know, give credit to Duquesne, you know, advancing for the first time in like 40, 50 years. But
yeah,
I'm not going to advise anyone to lay -10, but Illinois is the right side.
All right. And then last game for today, and then we'll take care of Sunday. Oregon and Creighton. Creighton laying 4.5 against the Ducks. Over under is at 146. You know, everything wanted me to take Oregon, kid. Everything. But I do think Creighton is the better team right now. I think the total, another total, I think is spot on. I don't want to touch the total. But I really wanted to take the Ducks. If I could have got 5.5, maybe 6, I would have taken the Ducks. But 4.5, I probably lean with Creighton. I think Creighton wins.
Still, same. You know, I'm not gonna take it officially, people, but I think Creighton is just a better squad in this scenario. We saw Nike give them the off-white one. Shout out Nike.
Yeah.
You know, I think Creighton, they have a shot. They have a shot, not just to advance from past this round. They have a small shot to make history. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, people. Let's move on to tomorrow.
Let's go to tomorrow. We got Colorado, the Buffaloes taking on Marquette. Marquette laying 3.5. Over under is at 147. I really wanted to take Colorado. I think I will. Give me Colorado plus 3.5.
Because I'm taking Marquette -3.5. I seen the game Thursday, Dill. Colorado got lucky. Let's just be honest. They got a little lucky, Dill. I think Marquette, they take care of business. They handle. To be honest, I think it's a little disrespectful. It's only at 3.5 after we saw how Colorado was able to pull off the win. You know, I think Marquette takes care of business, Dill.
All right, let's go to the next game. Purdue laying 11.5 against Utah State. Over under is at 149. I'd probably lay it with Purdue. If you could get 10.5, it's 11.5. Maybe not. I think the total is spot on. It's a stay away game for me. Purdue should win this game. What do you got?
I stay away as well, Dill. Purdue have a chance to win it all. Do I think they could win
What's
this
so
game by
funny?
12?
What's so funny?
No, I'm laughing because Dill, like, I'm not gonna. I've been saying I'll take the points. I think this is the first one I'll honestly consider laying 11.5. That's why I laughed because
okay.
I wouldn't advise you to lay 12 points in March Madness, but with Purdue, man, that big man,
Zach Edey, you like him?
Yeah, you might go to the NBA.
No, he is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell people to lay 12 points, but I'm not gonna do that. But I do like it. If you want people, put in a parlay. Fuck it.
Let's go to the most interesting game. The James Madison Dukes are taking on Duke. Duke laying 7.5 against the Dukes. Over under is at 148. 7.5. Are you kidding me? Duke should be the favorite. No disrespect. Duke should be a 2 to 3 point favorite. 7.5 after last night. Give me James Madison plus 7.5. Sprinkle a little on the fucking money line. The Dukies are going to the Sweet 16, baby.
Still, I want to say plus 260. I want to say plus 2. Give me plus 260. James Madison in Brooklyn against the Blue Devils. They're gonna show who's the real Dukies are.
Ooh.
For all my listeners out there, please don't jump on it like I just did. But if you're feeling froggy, plus 260, James Madison in Brooklyn. Trenches, not the benches. Shut out Flatbush Ave.
Let's go. Let's go to the next game. Baylor taking on Clemson. Baylor Bears laying 4.5 against the Clemson Tigers. Over under is at 145. I think this is another game where it's just like they're so sharp. I would lay it, if anything, with Baylor. I don't want to take the 4.5. I do think Baylor's the better team. Total, I think, is spot on. If anything, lean Baylor, lay the points. That's how I would play it. How about you, kid?
It's a stay away deal. This is gonna be another good game. I'm gonna try to watch, and it's on TNT tomorrow, Prime, 6:00. To be honest, though, I gotta lean with Baylor just because it seems like Baylor's in the Sweet 16 every other year, Elite 8. So out of just the strength, I feel like they'll go that far. But Clemson, they're Pepsi. To be honest, Clemson are live. They're live dogs. Still.
Hey, we have breaking news in the NFL, please. Eagles are signing former Cowboys and Patriots quarterback Will Grier to a 1-year deal. Eagles.
You really just made me do that to that.
Eagles. Look at their roster now. Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee, and Will Grier. I don't mind it, if I'm being honest. Let's get back to it though. Alabama taking on Grand Canyon. Like I said, Grand Canyon, what a fucking win yesterday against St. Mary's. Alabama laying 6 against them. Over under is at 168. I got 6.5. I do see 6.5s out there still. So if you like Grand Canyon like me, take the 6.5. I think Bama should be the favorite, but I thought it should be like maybe around a pick 'em. Maybe 1, maybe 2. I'm not a bookmaker, but 6.5 seems a little too much for this Grand Canyon team. As for the total, 168, I think it's around where it should be. But I'm gonna take the points with Grand Canyon here in this spot. What about you?
So I'm gonna fade you, Dill. Give me Alabama minus the 6. I just feel like they played a little sloppy round 1. I think they cleaned it up round 2 and they dominate this George Canyon team. Give credit to George Canyon, making it this far, Dill. But I think Alabama flexes their muscle. We're gonna see the Alabama from last year without Brandon Miller, but a good Alabama team. Give me the Alabama minus 6. They're gonna flex those muscles today, Dill.
The number 1 overall seed, UConn Huskies taking on Northwestern. What a win for Northwestern yesterday against FAU. UConn laying 14.5 now against Northwestern. The Wildcats over under is at 135. Yeah, I'd lay it if anything. UConn is OD, but yeah, I really don't have a play. I'm not gonna touch this game at all. How about you?
Yeah, Dale, I'm not gonna. I'm staying away from it as well. I'm not gonna advise nobody to lay 15. If anything, Northwestern. Shit, I wouldn't even advise people to take the plus 15 because UConn could definitely dominate. You know what? Just
Mhm.
stay away, Dill. Stay
Yeah.
away.
You know, and that's the thing. You don't have to bet every game. I know a lot of people want to bet every game, but you got to find value where you find it. Let's go to the next game. Houston. They are
Ooh.
laying 9.5 against Texas A&M. Over under is at 133. I mean, this Texas A&M team, they're buzz. They got the boys playing right now. I think the total is where it should be. I'm not going to touch the total, but give me the plus 9.5 with Texas A&M. Houston should be the favorite, but I only have them favored around 6-7. I got plus 10.5, so money is coming in on my
Yeah.
side.
As of
So
right now, the
yeah,
line is at 10.5, people. So if you want to hop on it, Dill, I also
yeah.
lean that way. People are that was listening Saturday, they already know my remarks. I think Houston are frauds. The past few years, Houston's been fraud every year. They're number one seed once again. Dill, I think at plus 410, Texas A&M has tremendous odds in this game. People, all I'm saying is worth a sprinkle. I like the 10.5 in the pocket, but plus 410, Texas A&M, Texas on Texas crime. I give Texas A&M a shot to upset Houston.
Yeah. And Houston is dealing with some injuries as well. So 10.5 is kind of crazy in my opinion. Last game on the board, 9:40 p.m. start. San Diego State against the Yale. San Diego State laying 5.5. Over under is at 128.5. I mean, this Yale team just doesn't go away. I do think San Diego's the right side, but plus 5.5. You gotta lean with that Yale team. They just always find ways to make baskets. This is a gritty team. I'd have to lean with Yale, kid.
Dill, I understand where you're coming from, Dill, but San Diego State, they could shut down defensively.
Yeah.
So if they put those clamps on, especially in the second half, that's why the over under is so low, Dill. San Diego's not an explosive offensive team. They're really a slow pace defensive team, Dill. So I feel like they can control plays and definitely control that side of the ball. Dill, I'm gonna lean San Diego State minus 5.5.
I fucking love it, kid. Anything else before we get up out of here? We covered NBA. We covered March Madness for the weekend until Sweet 16. So any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Nah, Dill. I just want to say we gotta give some love to the women's tournament, Dill, because it's been an exciting ball. I'm gonna definitely try to tune in myself a little bit this year more than others, just because there's some exciting plays going on. You got Caitlin Clark today. She's minus 30, 37.5, so probably won't watch that one. But definitely some games on the board today and tomorrow that's gonna possibly catch my eye, Dill. So let's not ignore the women's ball either, because there's some exciting
No.
ball being played over there as well, guys.
No, and we got the UFL opening week next Saturday. A week from today, we start spring football. I can't fucking wait. Probably a new schedule, just like how we were doing with the NFL 3 times a week. That's probably what we'll be doing with this moving forward, especially with the UFL and going on. So we got that. We got opening day Thursday. I'll be in the building in Citi Field. But just pray for me, kid. Just pray that we're competitive. I'm not even asking for a win, E. I just want us to be competitive.
A good game. You want to see a
good
5-4
game.
game. 5-4.
Yeah, 5-4. Pete Alonso hits a home run. Lindor has a good game and possibly a win. But E, thank you so much. That is gonna do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Beef and Tequila, Elvis, myself. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys probably either Monday or Tuesday, depending on how the schedule works out. But make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, review, hit that like button. All that good stuff really helps the show. And everyone in the chat, thank you guys. Leave in the comments who you'll be betting on this week. Really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we will see you guys down the road.